Hey y'all, what's up? Um, as you can see in my backdrop, we're going to talk about ancestry DNA because somebody has to. At this point, I decided I'm not going to try to sell anything on TikTok. I'm going to just try to at least try to get you all to understand this and what ancestry DNA is, at least from my perspective, my point of view. Because I've been doing this like before ancestry was ancestry. But just let me get right into it, okay? First off, it's Pandora's box. When you take ancestry's DNA, you know what I mean? You're going to link up with a lot of people, you know what I mean? Because that's exactly what a lot of people is taking a DNA test for. But however, you have to do some kind of work. You know, I see a lot of people take the DNA test and then they try to run down the persons that they connected to and they don't get any answers and people are just blowing them. And sometimes you have success stories. But the whole point, well, before ancestry changed hands, the whole point of ancestry was to build your tree, right? And to get to know the people that you find that you know about, you know. And ancestry, they give you the tools, okay? Tools that you need to help find those people in your tree, in your roots. You know, some people just spitting in the tube or swabbing it or however and just think they're going to get their whole family history. But if you take your DNA test and you link up with me, moi, you're going to get that. You're going to get that family history because I did the work. I did the footwork. But let's just get back to why I got this backdrop back here. Just to help a little bit with the DNA and ancestry because it's a really amazing thing. But you have to know how to use the tools. Okay, so the next picture. This is the next picture, okay? Because I took the DNA test about 7 years ago. It was a gift from my children to see how far back my DNA could go. But ancestry evolves seem like every single day with how much they come up with when you take their DNA test. However, you have to do the work besides spitting in the tube. If you just want to spit in the tube, that's fine. But for me, it's important not just to link up with people that fits my DNA, but to find the history behind those people. So Ancestry was hoping that when they opened up Pandora's box, when people started taking the DNA test, they will be able to link up with those people in the trees that they've been building for years. But you have people nowadays that's just lazy. They're just lazy. They just don't want to do the work. And what I mean by doing the work, right? I'm going to take me for an example. I didn't know anything about my father. Nothing. I didn't know what he looked like. I didn't know where he was from. All I had was his name on my birth certificate. But I found them. And I didn't use Ancestry because they wasn't there. They hadn't been produced yet. Only people, the scientists was just using the DNA. But however, I did the footwork. And I'll just tell you a little about the footwork, how I got there. Back to this picture in the backdrop. So, because I took the DNA test, right, behind me are my DNA results. And here you have my cousin, my first cousin, my second cousin, and so forth, right? And you see that on the top, she doesn't have a linked tree. But I know who she is, because she's a relative of mine. But if I didn't know who she was, right, how would I figure out who she was? She has no tree, just nothing. No leak tree, no nothing. But I know who she is, right? So the second person I discovered when I took my DNA test, because both of us decided to take it. So when she took it, she came up as my second cousin, first or second cousin on my dad's side, right? And because you see next to her, right? You see next to her name, the second one there, you see go all the way over, you see that she did her work. She is a tree, right? She built up. So I now can see the people in her tree and link them up with my tree. And then I will be able to know, okay, that's how we're related, because she did the work and so did moi, right? So when we took the DNA test, we can start building and start connecting our trees together. However, the first person, the first relative, did nothing. So how would I have known? And let me show you. Listen. This is the cousin that did her work, you know. She just didn't spit in the tube and just hope that someone would tell her who her family is. She did some kind of work, right? So here you have, she's my first cousin, one time removed. And a lot of people don't even know what that means. That's for another video. But you go down here and you see that we have a common ancestor together. So boom, I already know exactly how we're related. I just didn't rely on a spit in the tube, right? And then you can see the buildup of her tree. You see? And then I can look at my tree and I can compare. But if I didn't do any work, nothing, I just spit in the tube and just put my name up there, how are you going to know? Next picture. This next clip is a classic example of someone taking the DNA test on Ancestry and just you just don't know how they're related, you know? And I think I have about 7,000 people that's linked to me genetically, and no tree. They just hoping someone else know. But here's an example. Okay, you see this person there. I think their first name is Jabrat or something like that, right? So we're going to go to his picture frame. Okay, this is his picture frame. Now, we're second and third cousins. I'm interested to see who he's related to on my side, because, you know, secrets and lies. But however, you see, Jabbar and I are second cousins, no common ancestors, just no information about this person or how we're connected. And then they have their name up there. I can research them and like, how are we related? But they probably, like, if they knew, they should put it up there. That's how that works. So when you take the DNA test on Ancestry, build a tree. Put it as much as you possibly can on there. So when you find the connection with your family or relative, you can start somewhere, but don't start nowhere. Like, but however, I think I might do a series on how to find your families. But back to how I found my dad without Ancestry. I sent away for his death certificate. Yeah. I just took an estimate. Remember, I didn't know his name. I just took an estimate on when he was born and when he died. I had about 4 or 5 different things, but, you know, it came up. That's just one step. Good luck out there with this DNA. Remember, do the work.